Well, hey everybody, and welcome back. It is time for the Winter Olympics 2026 coming to you from Milano and Cortina in Italy, although there are lots of other venues. And in my video from a couple weeks ago, you can see that up in the link above in the description down below. You can see all of the venues and cities and sites that will be hosting events at this year's Winter Olympics. Now they start this Friday with the opening ceremonies in Milan San Siro Stadium. And then they'll be followed up right away the next day with events all around northern Italy. So check out that other video to see all the venues and where the different events will be, and check your local listings for television coverage. Though I can tell you right now, I will be covering all of the Alpine Skiing events in live stream for folks who just don't get coverage in their country, or they get limited coverage with only favorites and Americans or things like that. For me, I like to see all of the different athletes. Now, today we're going to do a couple of things. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through some of my hot picks, favorites for medals in this Olympics. And let's start off with Mikaela Shiffrin. She's 30 years old, and it seems like she's been around forever, and she kind of has. It's her 14th or maybe 15th season in the World Cup circuit. She's already won 2 Olympic golds, but she's coming off a super disappointing 2022 Winter Olympic Games in Beijing, where she had 3 DNFs. She has won 2 Olympic golds in the past, but given that she's won 108 races and 8 World Championship golds, her Olympic medal tally is a little thin, and she's going to look to improve that. I see her as an absolute lock for the slalom gold medal this year, and possibly a bronze in the giant slalom, and then maybe even a team medal. So I definitely think she's going to be able to come away from these Olympic Games with 2 or 3 medals. She has won 7 slaloms this season alone and is looking absolutely dominant. Moving on to an athlete that maybe many people do not know about, especially in the States, because in the States we don't cover ski jumping quite as much, and that's Domen Prevc from Slovenia. He hasn't been to the Olympics before. This is his first time. He does have 5 World Championship golds, and they've been very, very recent, even though he's 26 or 28 years old. In both of the last 2 Olympic years, in 2018 and 2022, he just had terrible seasons and didn't make the roster. But this year, 11 wins. 11 wins in the ski jumping circuit, 17 podiums in 20 ski jumping events. So he's absolutely dominating this year's World Cup season. Has 20 career victories, and also holds the world record in ski flying with 254.5 meters, which is over 850 feet through the air. Now, ski flying won't be an event at this year's Olympics, but definitely look for him to win gold in both the small hill, the large hill, and the team event. So definitely can see him coming away with 3 golds. It just wouldn't seem right for him to end up with anything less, although in the team event, Japan and Austria will be good rivals for him. Moving back to Alpine Skiing, Marco Odermatt, not having the most dominant season of his career, but he's still leading the World Cup standings. He's got 4 overall World Cups, 8 wins this season, 53 wins overall, but only 1 Olympic gold. So he's looking to increase that. Now, he's a threat in the downhill, though he does have some serious competition from his own countryman, Franjo van Almen this year. He's a threat in the Super G to win, and could even medal in the giant slalom. So definitely looking for Marco Odermatt to come away with a couple of medals. Not sure if he's going to be in any of the combined team events with Swiss women counterparts, but I can definitely see him rising to the occasion and adding to his Olympic total. Back to a US athlete, and we're talking about Ilia Malinin now, figure skating sensation, who missed out on the last Winter Olympics in 2022 in Beijing, even though he finished 3rd in the US trials, but there was some controversy there, and it ended up being a committee pick, and he ended up missing out. So he's definitely chomping at the bit to get to his first Olympics. He's only 21 years old. And if you go through his list of accolades here, 2 World Championship golds already, 3 Grand Prix finals, 4 US Championship golds. So look for him to dominate men's figure skating this year. All right, and our final athlete for our hot picks for medals in this year's Winter Olympics is Ilia Scheib, coming from Austria, and her specialty is alpine skiing, more specifically the giant slalom. And she's already won 4 races this year, is leading the World Cup standings in the giant slalom, 6 podiums overall, and 1 World Championships as a junior. Now she's already 26, and she just hasn't been able to put everything together over her 6 or 7 year career, but this year she has. So a big favorite for the giant slalom women's event coming up in about 10-11 days in Cortina d'Ampezzo. The men will be in Bormio for most of their alpine skiing events, and the women will be in Cortina. All right, so there you have it. We have all of the big favorites, or do we? No, we have one more, and I hesitated to put her in because of what happened this weekend, and I think you all know I'm talking about Lindsey Vonn. Lindsey Vonn, at age 41, coming back after a 5-year hiatus, and a reconstructed right knee. Now, she was doing great this season, 2 victories already, but in last Friday's downhill in Crans-Montana in Switzerland, I did the live stream of that event. It was a terrible event, bad weather, poor course setting, and 3 of the top 6, or 3 of the first 6 racers down the hill crashed, 2 of them badly, and one of those was Lindsey Vonn. Now, thankfully it wasn't her reconstructed right knee that got hurt, but her left knee got hurt. She was holding it, she was very tender, she was able to get untangled from the nets after that race, after that crash, and she was able to ski down, though gingerly, stopping many times to feel. She was really trying to figure out how bad her knee was. She was then actually airlifted to a local hospital for more tests. She skipped the Super G on Saturday, and her coach have been saying, we are still on track for the Olympics, but I am hesitant to say that she is now a favorite because we're really not getting any updates on her condition and just how bad her left knee injury is. I would have absolutely had her up there for a downhill medal and a Super G medal, possibly even a combined medal, depending on whether her and Mikaela Shiffrin would have done a team combined effort where one does downhill and one does slalom. They take the combined time and medals are awarded, and that would have been, I mean, for the TV, for the ratings, especially in the United States, that would have been a huge hit to have the 2 best female skiers of all time competing together in a combined event for gold, especially given that Lindsey Vonn at 41, this is probably her last Olympics. Mikaela Shiffrin at 30 could certainly do at least 1 more. All right, so there you have it, 5 favorites and 1 unknown dark horse in Lindsey Vonn. All right, we're going to finish this up with something special. We're going to give you kind of a little bit of a graphical visualization of the history of the medals won by country over the entire history of the Winter Olympics going back to 1924. So enjoy that, and we'll see you soon for the Olympic events. I'll be covering all of the alpine skiing in live stream, so join me for that. Take care for now. Bye-bye.